when it comes to edit, this process can be very long and frustrated if you don't know what you're doing. But it can also be very fun and creative once you know what you're doing. Which is why on today's video, we're gonna learn how to isolate your subject from your background. There are many reasons why you will want to isolate your subject from your background. And 3 of the most common reasons are to change the color of your background, to add text or layers on your background, and lastly, for a creative process. Make sure you stick out throughout the whole video, because after I show you how to isolate your subject from your background, I will show you an example of each of the 3 reasons I just mentioned earlier. So without any delay, let's get it. Now that we're on Photoshop, I've already edited my picture. So my picture is ready to go. Now what we're going to do is we're going to isolate the subject from the background. We're gonna change the background to different colors, and we're also gonna change the background to some creative background. And then the last one, we'll do like a magazine cover. So first thing first, to isolate the subject from the background, we're going to go right here where it says object selection tool, or we could just get to it by pressing W. So we're gonna right click it, and then we're gonna left click object selection. Then we're gonna go on top here where it says select subject, and we're just going to click it. Just wait a minute, and Photoshop does a very good job at that. It will select your subject automatically, especially if you have a white background, a plain background without too much distraction. Like 9 out of 10 times, Photoshop will select the subject very nicely separated from the background. Now that Photoshop select our subject, we need to remove the subject from the background. And to do that, we're going to press Ctrl+Shift+J. And I believe on Mac it's Command-Shift+J, but on PC it's Ctrl+Shift+J. So now we end up with 2 layers. The first one is the background. And the first one is the subject. So the background is underneath. So if we turn off the background, all we left with is the subject. So if we turn off the subject, we're left with a blank layer. So anything that we put underneath the subject will be the background to our subject. So if we click right here, let's say if I were to change the color and I put a solid color, there we go. Anything we do to the background will be our main background. It will change automatically. So if we were to change the color, it will automatically change. So let's say if we say red, let's say if we wanted to change it, see, any color that we pick, it will change. So let's delete that. I've already made some background, which is right here. So all I'm gonna do is drag click it underneath and activate my background, and then we'll just go through some different background I already made. So we have the first one here. I have a second color. We have a third color. And now I also did some creative one, which was, the first one was a cloud one. We have one that kind of looked like Vice. I also did one which was a retro look. And one of my favorite one was a garden one. And then lastly, I did the cover up magazine. So to sum up, To isolate, let's turn all those off. All right, let's put our subject back. So to sum up, to isolate our background, our subject from the background, we first have to go here where it's a object selection, or just press W. Let's just do it with W this time. And we have to go up here where it's a select subject, and it will automatically select our subject. And all we have to do is press Ctrl Shift J or Command Shift J, and it will automatically isolate our subject from our background.